So, fellas, it is a milestone day today, and for some reason, I'm going through the blog talk here, and the actual Satellite Sundays intro, I got the music. Obviously, the music doesn't help. It is, for some reason, not playing the intro. So you know what? We're going to play the intro underneath, and it's good because today is a milestone day regardless for Satellite Sundays. That's why I wanted to get right into it. Normally, I love the intro music. It's great. It's beautiful. It's my jam. But today is a milestone historic day because today is the Sweet 16. It is the 16th episode of Satellite Sundays. And really, I kind of wanted to just get into a little bit of what this means. I mean, 16 episodes is gigantic. It is, for a company that really started as just a blogging website with a bunch of kids, to be 16 episodes, to have triple-digit listeners last week because of all of our hard work on social media and things like that. It has been really quite amazing. I got to thank all of you for your contributions as well. I don't have as much time to write anymore as I used to, so I do want to thank you guys for doing that. Now, let's see. I got Jesse line here. Jesse from good old New Hampshire. Joe is back with us. Now, Joe, I had you on mute real quick because there's a little bit of background noise here. And yeah, Joe is going to be silenced for a second. Jason, you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Beautiful, beautiful. Jeremy, how about
Welcome.
you?
I'm here. Happy Sweet 16, McSwigget.
Right. Now, you see, you know what happened was I had this big, long spiel planned out. I was actually planning on it like during that 4-minute intro that Dustin made. I was thinking about doing the whole thing, and then thinking, all right, how am I going to come on air, and how I'm going to be like, yeah, Sweet 16, woohoo! I live within 500 feet of a school, yay! But then it didn't play right away. And I panicked, and I hit the button, and then I realized that the actual music isn't here. Maybe it's because I'm sitting in excuse me. Maybe it's because I'm sitting in the studio and not sitting on my home computer, and it didn't transfer over. But either way, we have a monumental show, a monstrous show, and we wanted to try to get to it commercial-free as well today on Mother's Day. So what I wanted to sort of ask everybody here and reflect back on this as a sports fan real quick, because I watched the Kentucky Derby yesterday. And I don't know if you guys are all sports fans, but 16 years ago today, I was in, let's see, it's 2000. I was in 8th grade. I was getting ready to move on to be a high schooler. Getting ready to move on to be a high schooler. Is this Joe? All right, that didn't sound okay. Joe, just call in on your phone, buddy. So I was getting ready to be a high schooler, and I remember watching a couple of things happen. Unfortunately, I didn't really follow sports as much as I do now. But watching the Kentucky Derby, the reason why I went into this was because I live in upstate New York in a town called Saratoga. For those of you who are fans of horse racing, for those of you who are fans of the history of horse racing. Now, I don't know if everybody here enjoys it. I know Jason's a betting man, right?
Absolutely.
If I had to guess, you're a betting man. Yeah. If I had to guess, you'd be my guy for that.
Absolutely. Won some money betting the Canelo fight last night.
Did you?
I had a feeling he was going to get knocked out in the 5th or 6th round, but I went with the 6th because it just made for a better fight. So yeah, won me some money with that.
I'm with it, man. I'm with it. Well, I live in a town in upstate New York called, and for those who do not know the history of Saratoga, New York, is there a racetrack there where Seabass Emblem, or maybe Man of War. I believe it was War Emblem in that movie. I mean, it's a historic racetrack, and it is a track where, I mean, there's no major I guess Triple Crown or crazy events that go on. But if you guys watch horse racing, you've probably heard of something called the Travers. Am I wrong?
Yes, I've heard of it. No, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Traverse race, yes. I could, from where I lived in Saratoga, well, I live in Cliff Park, but it's the next town over. But when I lived in Saratoga, I could literally walk to the racetrack during Traverse. And for those of you who, you guys, does anybody, I went in this to start with because I have a couple of questions. Does anybody really even care about horse racing at all?
Not really. I'd rather watch stage ride.
Yeah.
No, not particularly.
Honestly, I cared about it until the Triple Crown was actually broken.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then once that happened, it's like, oh, I was waiting all the time for this. Okay, on to the next.
Well,
this is the worst thing that could have happened to the sport. Here's
the reason why I went into that, because the only thing that I've really had around here, and this is what I am, where I'm tying this whole thing in, is when I was a young kid, we used to go to the track all the time. We never had, anything. Is
that legal for you to go to the track at that age?
Yeah, as long as you're with your parents.
Well, that's good parenting there.
Yeah, exactly, right? My dad'd be like, "Yo, so what's your favorite number?" Okay, I'm gonna go to the window and then take the money. But my thing is my dad and myself are very alike. So my point is, we had a professional sports team up here. We never had a team. We had briefly the Knicks do their spring training stuff, and briefly we had, I believe, an arena football team. And the Albany Firebirds, and what else? They turned into the Albany Conquest. We have the Albany Devils now. They were the Riverettes, but it's minor league stuff. It's nothing major. So really the only major scale sporting event we had up here, besides the Giants training camp, which is now on, was horse racing. So I've always sort of been, I've always been at the track. I've always been at this and that. The reason, and Jason makes a good point about the Triple Crown, now that it's been broken, nobody cares, blah, 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 blah. I was there last year to witness history, and I sort of wanted to go into, I asked everybody to have their favorite play-by-play call and sort of let me know what it is, even though mine, for some reason, isn't loading. One of the best emotional things you can do is horse racing, and last year when American Pharoah won the Triple Crown, it sounded a little bit like this.
And American Pharoah continues to lead the way. He's on top by 3/4 of the length. Mubtahij is off the rail, and now he's a length behind in second. And American Pharoah kicks away. American Pharoah has opened up a 2-length lead as they come to the top of the stretch. And Frosted has moved up into second, and they're into the stretch. And American Pharoah makes his run for glory as they come into the final furlong. Frosted is second with 1/8 of a mile to go. American Pharoah's got a 2-length lead. Frosted is all out at the 16th pole. And here it is. The 37-year wait is over. American Pharoah is finally the one. American Pharoah has won the Triple Crown.
Now, that call, iconic as it is, okay, I kind of am reminiscing here because it's horse racing weekend and the Satellite Sunday music didn't open, so I'm kind of covering the 5-minute time that we could do here. And I kind of thought all of you liked horse racing, or at least watched some of it, so we could talk about yesterday's race, but guess not. So before we jump into the next topic, I just wanted to say I witnessed history last year. And the reason I mentioned the Traverse race was, and I'm going to play this whole thing in entirety, I want you guys to honestly tell me that even if you're not a horse racing fan, even if you're not a fan of the sport itself, not a fan of betting, not a fan of the whole thing, you just, I don't care about horse racing, I don't, whatever, okay? You just heard the call by Larry Colness, the NYRA broadcaster. You just heard him win the Triple Crown. That was last year, obviously. Now, Nyquist is looking good. We're going to be on his tail this year, but who knows? American Pharoah comes to the Traverse, comes to Saratoga. Okay, and I know Jason's heard this clip before because I played it last year, the day, because we had a show the day after this happened. So, Jason, bear with me for a second here. But I want you guys to just soak this in and understand, and then I have an offer for all of you afterwards if you would like to. I was going to play this, the 2-minute clip, and then we'll jump into something that really gets on, I think a more interesting topic. Go.
I'm sorry,
Here's Larry Comus.
They're off in the Travers. And American Pharoah had a great start. He goes straight to the front, and Frosted is away well. And Frosted is just to the outside of the Triple Crown winner early. And then it's Smart Transition running in third. Upstart is fourth. Texas Red fifth. Keen Ice is sixth on the outside as they pass by us, and then Mid-Ocean Pimento. Tale of Verve and King of New York is the trailer. So American Pharoah gets some early pressure here in the Travers. Frosted is kept close to the pace, and Smart Transition is third. The opening quarter mile was a soft one, though. It was 24 1/5 seconds. Upstart is tucked in. He's now third, and Smart Transition is back to fourth. And then it's Texas Red and Keen Ice, a separation of 5 to Mid-Ocean, and it's a long way more back to the others. And they're followed by Taylor Verve, Fermento, and King of New York. And a Triple Crown winner moves on to the backstretch at Saratoga. American Pharoah is the leader, and Frosted is keeping him company up the backstretch. He's 3/4 of a length behind him. And then it's Smart Transition, Upstart right together. Keen Ice is fifth behind them. Kent DeSormo and Texas Red are 6 lengths behind American Pharoah, who continues to be pressed along by Frosted. And they went a half mile in 48 1. And at the half mile pole, these two are together. And they've gone 3/4 in 1:11 2. American Pharoah by ahead. And Frosted is taking it to him on the far turn. Frosted is right alongside of American Pharoah. And now Victor Espinosa has to ask American Pharoah to go. And Frosted continues to cling to him on the outside as they round the far turn. They're 4 lengths ahead of Keen Ice. And as they turn for home, American Pharoah has lost the lead at the top of the stretch. Frosted on the outside is now in front. But American Pharoah is battling on from the inside. He's showing all this fight with 1 furlong to run. And here on the far outside comes Keen Ice with a late threat. American Pharoah put away Frosted. He has to deal with Keen Ice. Keen Ice has got him. Keen Ice has won the Travers over American Pharoah in a dramatic upset. Frosted was third, and Upstart was fourth, and a final time of 2:01.57 seconds. The Graveyard of Champions has claimed another.
So even if you're not a horse racing fan, you can't tell me that you get just a little bit of goosebumps from that. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little hurt.
Now, American Pharoah, who had won the Triple Crown just a few weeks before that, lost to, obviously, in the Travers race. They call it the Graveyard of Champions because no Triple Crown winner has ever won at Saratoga. And I don't know why that is. I'm not sure.
Probably because of you.
Maybe because I'm there. Yeah, well, I don't go every year. Come on. But it's one of those things. It's one of those things where I was there live for that call. That's the actual call as I heard it. Now, obviously, I had to go in and find the audio because it was so loud in there with 100,000 people that you can't actually hear that as it's happening. But I went in there, listened to that, and honestly, I still sort of get chills from that because I still have my ticket, my American Pharoah ticket, because obviously I watched the Triple Crown winner. See, last year was special for me because I got to see a Triple Crown winner for the first time in my lifetime, okay? And I got to see a Triple Crown winner get beat in the same summer, okay? So that, to me, at least, was special. I don't have a lot of – I'm a Cowboys fan. I don't have a lot of special sports memories, okay? And so that was one of the big sports memories to me. Now, let me see if Joe's mic here is working. Joe, are you with us? All right, Joe, just call in using your cell phone, but I don't know what's going on with your microphone. I don't have a lot of sports memories, like I said, because I'm a Cowboy fan. So
Poor bastard.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I got to watch that. I got to watch that, and it was big for me. It was one of the, I guess, highlights of my sporting life. And Jimmy, you're welcome to come if you're available. Jason, you live in New York, so you could come over. Todd, I know you're not too far away in Massachusetts. Same thing with you, Joe, if you guys want. Depending on what shakes out in the next couple weeks, if we have a Triple Crown winner, if we don't, if whatever it would be, if you guys would like, I'm trying to set up something with a local station near us, 101.3 The Jockey. I'm going to be on the phone with them all week, trying to set up possibly myself doing some work with them during Travers Week. And when that happens, if y'all want to come out for the Travers Race and event, it's a really good time. It's, whether you bet or not, it's always usually a great time. Have some beers, look at some girls in skirts, and go from there. So,
how come I wasn't there?
I'll positive.
Well, Jeremy, you were.
I'll agree with Chris about this. Going to an actual horse racing event is really fun. Before the Triple Crown was, broken, I used to go a lot to Belmont because Belmont's not far from me. But
yeah.
I agree with Chris. It's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it to anybody interested. Food, chicks, beer. I mean, you can't miss. It's a great experience.
You had Jeremy at food.
You're damn right.
Let's be fair too. I mean, you look at all the people flying in over there, and they're super rich. They go, and I mean, they seem to be having a good time. Can't imagine it's a bad time.
The cool thing about Saratoga though is it's like $3 to get in or something like that. And
that's cheap.
Yeah, no, not even calling on how expensive.
Now on Travers Day, really all you're going to pay for is parking. All you're going to pay for is parking on Travers Day. But the way Saratoga's set up is if y'all were to come out, we can make like a weekend out of it, whatever, and then walk over to the track. But I just think, see, I'm a big traditionalist. I love history. I like the history of things, just like I like in college football the traditional teams to be good, the Notre Dames, the Ohio States, the Penn States. I don't want this like, what is it, Florida A&M to, they made a bowl game for the first time in history. Who cares? Okay, I want the traditional powers to be good because that's good for the sport, I feel. And it's the same thing with this. I mean, from Seabiscuit all the way up to Keen Ice beating American Bowl last year, the Saratoga racetrack has been sort of a big-time thing, and it's really a piece of history. And being a history buff and a sports fan myself, it's one of those things that I'm big into. I go every year. I don't necessarily always bet. I just kind of go to, drink beer, eat food, watch some races, smoke a cigar, see girls in tight dresses.
That, my friend.
You know what I'm saying? So
nice.
and you get some good looking women up at that racetrack too, which is a thing. But anyway, as much as it's Mother's Day, I can't be talking about this stuff. I feel bad enough pulling all y'all away from your mothers here on Mother's Day. I'm not breaking up any families. I'm not breaking up any families here. Am I? No feuds or anything going on with? No.
I'm an idiot.
No, we're good.
It's a long day. It's a long day.
Okay,
I put some drowsy medication in my wife's tea. She's asleep. It's all good.
Wow.
Well, hey.
You got to do what you got to do sometimes. So speaking of, I mentioned I liked college football. Texas A&M. I'm sure all of you all have heard about the debacle that's going on at Texas A&M. Now,
what a disaster.
Well, I'm going to get into this real quick. I'm going to preface this with there's rumors and stories out there that Johnny Manziel has been signed to a 1-year deal to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that after. Now, again, everyone's like, oh, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, my God, they're such a class organization. This is the same organization as Michael Vick. So just soak that in. Texas A&M.
I hold Michael Vick in higher regard than Johnny Manziel, but anyway.
Absolutely.
Do you? How?
Because Michael Vick
wants to
came
do
out
is
and
party and have a good time.
Refurbished himself. Michael
Vick's
Vick
at least done something with his career. Christ.
Manziel is a joke.
But he came back. I think Johnny Manziel is a better football player right now than Mike Vick was when he came back.
Come on.
When he came back, not beforehand.
You've been at Saratoga too long, my friend.
Dude, have you?
Are you serious?
Have you seen Michael Vick when he was on the Jets? He was atrocious on the Jets. Are you kidding me?
Who cares about the Jets? We're talking about when he was playing Manchester. He better Manziel couldn't hit the floor if he fell on it, for Christ's sake.
Can we at least say that?
Gotta agree with Chris here. I mean, he's still young and he's still raw talent.
At the most, you can say that Manziel has more potential than Vick could when Vick was at the end of his career. But as far as putting them side by side and deciding who I want to back somebody up if it came to 3 games, I'd probably still just take Vick. I mean, Manziel, I don't know. There's something about Manziel, man. Even going forward, he has this whole background thing. Like, even if he had skill potential, you still got to worry about him having to freaking check into AA halfway through the season. Like, too much.
I can't believe
we're even talking about some dogs.
No, that was years. That was years prior to everything else.
Something wrong with you guys, man.
Okay, it sounds like you're having some constipation issues over there.
I can't. I'm too young to listen to this crap.
You're too young. You're the oldest. Well, besides
yeah.
Joe, the oldest one on the air right now.
Yeah, but I feel like that I'm too mature for this conversation. So.
I see. So, okay. So let's jump into Johnny Manziel's alma mater then. Texas A&M coach Aaron Moorhead. And speaking of maturity, actually, Jeremy did a brilliant job of segueing there.
You like that,
but
huh?
Coach, I do. That was beautiful. And that, you can tell we were co-hosts, right, at one point? Coach Aaron Moorhead, who was a Texas A&M, assistant coach. He coaches wide receivers, things like that. College football is it's one of I have a buddy who's defensive coordinator at my alma mater. I mean, I know it's D3, it's a different level, but still, he has to deal with recruiting all the time. And he, Tate Martell, who was a incoming quarterback, tweeted out he was committed last year or so to Texas A&M. He tweets out the following: after talking with my family about what is best for my future, I reopened the recruiting process. Now, Moorhead offense to this, that he was the one who was recruiting him. Aaron Moorhead tweets out. Now, this is a coach tweeting out this. Okay, I feel sorry, and he doesn't even. I know he has submitted characters on Twitter, but really, he goes, I feel sorry for EPL people. He goes, I feel sorry for people who never understand loyalty. I can't even really live with you. At the end of the day, trust is emoji, and everything else is BS. Okay? Everyone gets on like, oh, you're calling out a kid, blah, 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 blah. So then he tweets back out again the same day, May 5th. Maybe it was Cinco de Drinko for him, or Cinco de Drink, whatever. But he goes, I wasn't even talking about everyone thinks I'm talking about. I didn't know, hashtag timing, hashtag relevant though, hashtag no loyalty. So you got subtle shots in there. You've got those subtle kind of, yeah, I wasn't even talking about him, but he's still not loyal kind of a shots. Then he gets a lot of he tweets out later that day, lots of tough typers tonight with face emojis, hashtag sounds good. Okay? Now, this Twitter rampage that went on has then now caused a couple of other recruits to decommit to Texas A&M. One of them, also on that day, on May 5th, there was another one. His name was released because he's a kid here, but it says, I see what kind of person my quote-unquote future coach is and myself. I don't want to put someone like that. So without further ado, I would like to announce that I'm decommitting from Texas A&M. That happened about 10 or so minutes after that final week. Then a new guy comes out. He did release his name, Tyjon Lindsey. He says, I would like to say thank you, but due to some tweets submitted towards my brother, I will no longer be at Texas A&M. Moorhead stayed strong, however, and he tweeted through this whole thing as reported by Deadspin. He says, people like to act the truth is all of a sudden a bad thing. Society is sensitive. Y'all soft. Hashtag Texas tough. Okay. So, and if you think that's bad, it continues. Moorhead says next day, I love Texas A&M football. I guard and respect it with my life. I like that lightly day to day. Okay. Now, he just this is I know we talk about social media and how much we hate social media, how much social media going too far. We had the Snapchat debate a couple weeks ago about the speed filter thing and not, but we see social media becoming a bigger part of sports every single week, it seems like. And now we have 3 players decommitting from a major institution like Texas A&M, a major SEC football program like Texas A&M, because of a coach who really wants to be an internet gangster. I mean, a coach who wants to be a tough talker on the keyboard, and now he just lost 3 between 4 and 5-star recruits here. I mean, is this really as big of a deal? Like, is there a deeper meaning to this? Is social media going too far here? I mean, Jason, you're a big social media guy. What do you agree with the players, or do you think the players really are soft for just something that was tweeted out here? You got to be mentally tough to play football, right?
I think the players are just. I think it's deeper than that. I just think social media, everybody just uses it incorrectly. Remember back in the days we had publicists. This is what publicists is for. maybe now the athletes should think about hiring a social media strategist or something like that. I mean, things are just coming out all the time. People need to just unplug and let someone else do the tweeting for them. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
Yeah. Somebody, Todd, what about you?
Well, it's like, I'm kind of with Jason on it because, in all honesty, I can see everyone's kind of anger and frustration with the other side's actions. Where like sometimes you wonder if like some of these college players don't think enough through before they make a commitment. I don't know what level of commitment he was. If it was like, I don't know how far he had gone in verbal commitment, signing, whatever. But like when you lose 3 people like that, obviously it's like that's no good. I think I can see the player's standpoint. I think I can see the coach's standpoint. The problem is with social media, you don't have to mull over your thoughts. You can like immediately respond, and people like Jason say it's like it's too much ingrained in life. Like social media is way too important to people. It's the first thing they turn to, and I think it's just a channel that's way too quickly like used. So yeah, I'm with Jason. It's like you need to have somebody or at least some wits about it yourself to just double check yourself or just think before you tweet.
I'm in my mid to late 20s, so obviously a lot of people hang out with my age, and it really doesn't matter who it is, boy, girl, male, female, or in 2016, it could be both. It's one of those where no matter where they go, the first thing they do is get to place. If it's a bar, it could be a freaking gas station. Something to do with selfie is going on, man. It's me at a gas station. Hashtag. And it's like, that's the first thing that comes to their mind is how are they going to get out there to the masses? How are they going to this image out in front of people? And
you're right,
Chris. Have you this before? I mean, Jeremy, I know you're not a huge social media guy, but I mean, do you agree with the players here, or are these guys mentally soft, like the coach is saying?
Well, all right, I'm a little older than you guys, so I'm not used to all this digital crap and all stuff like this. But like when I played football, like early '90s, we didn't have stuff like this. We went up to a coach and said, "If we got a problem with you, we tell you to your face." It stayed in the locker room. Now it's like, forget it. You can't even break a win without somebody making fun of you on social media. I mean, I kind of like social media where it's becoming, but it's like some of it makes you think, what the hell is wrong with these people? Like, I mean, I think, honestly, the kids are bigger, stronger, faster now, but I honestly think they're stupider now because they don't get it. When you tweet something out or you put something on Facebook, everybody sees it. Not 20 years ago when I played, you could get away with everything. Now it's the digital age, and these kids just don't get it. I mean, even the coaches sometimes are really stupid, so it's like both of them don't get it. So you're kind of screwed either way, if you ask me.
Well, I'm looking at it from that's a good point. Like basketball, when I played, even college, we didn't say, team were doing it. Now, nothing against females, but the girls team would be like, selfie, I'm on our way to the game, and I think that's sort of where it began. But Jeremy makes a good point where things were just left in the locker room. Things were
it was completely different.
Man to
completely
man.
Different, Chris.
Of course, when Jimmy played,
you know what I think? You know what I think it is too, guys.
What?
You know what I think it is, guys? I think it's a generational thing. I
You're
mean,
right.
Millennials.
Just look at last week's topic.
Younger millennials.
The young lady with the car accident, and her first instinct was to take a Snapchat video after she was being, after the car accident. Like,
she was on a stretcher. Now, I don't know if everybody, Jeremy, did you end up seeing the that I sent to the
Yes, I saw. I'm telling you, a lot of stuff you honestly do is common sense stuff. Jesus Christ. If you're in a car accident, you're really going to tweet it out to the whole freaking world. I mean, come on. Good Lord. Like, use your freaking brain if you have one.
Well, the thing is, it's like, to me, social media should be something to kind of like portray like a certain aspect of your life. Like the part of it that is like okay to be public, the things you want to share with people. There is still private and public, and people just completely combined it to both. Like your life has to be portrayed through like social media. It's like, no, it doesn't. If someone dies in my family, the first thing I do isn't put it on all 4 social media things I'm on to vent to the world. It's like, it's outside.
Yeah, hashtag funeral, Yeah,
right. This stuff for now. Like,
well, okay, I'm gonna give you guys a quick social media example. Like on Facebook, I don't know, everybody's putting up a picture with their mom, and I'm for that. That's a good thing, support moms on Mother's Day and things like that. But if you look at the bigger picture in it, everybody's following a blind leader. Everybody's doing the same thing, same cycle over and over again. One person puts a picture up, the next one's putting a picture up. And so it's like you're not a cool kid. You're not a cool kid if you're not following the trend.
Yeah. For God's sakes, it's like, like not that what happened over in Belgium or whatever wasn't like a travesty, but it's like that happens. Everyone starts putting up like the Belgium filter, and it's just like, so do you not like if you don't have the Belgium filter up, like do you not care? Or if you put the Belgium filter up, is it like, I've done my duty. There's my sympathy for everybody.
Well, it's
over.
like that when the France attacks happened. Like when the France happened, they changed their profile to them behind the flag, and it's like, it's okay, nice, I understand you're
what are you really doing? Like, who does it really help? Like,
it doesn't help anybody.
A lot of this has to do with self-esteem. Like, I get a feeling like, a lot of people aren't happy unless they post something like this. It's like, it makes them feel better. And
right.
It's like, I mean, no offense, like, I could give a rat's ass left if somebody wants to post something about me. I don't care. It's just like some people need this in their lives. It's like an addiction, So it's weird, in a way,
And again, just shouting out number 713-955-0359. Live listeners, feel free to call in and chime in. The box is blowing up, but y'all are shy. I don't want to get up on the air here. But again,
it'd be nice. I promise.
Sorry, but to bring it back to
I'm
sports
gonna start tweeting. I'm gonna start tweeting. Our listeners are shy. No loyalty.
I just tweeted in my pants about 10 minutes ago. Sorry.
Oh,
just to bring it back to sports content.
Yeah.
Just think about this. LeBron had his decision. He had a press conference. The proper way you're going to make an announcement of what you're going to do. People
and he got
hated
flack
it
for that.
He did it the right way. Now, the generation below him, they're putting out tweets and Instagram pictures of who they're signing with and things like that. So that just shows you where social media and athletes are going. This is where it's trending up.
I don't even think that he necessarily did that the right way. I mean, he received a ton of flack for that. That decision was made fun of for years. It was I think that was even better. Just making everything about yourself.
I do.
I kind of money to the Boys and Girls Fund, which people forget to talk about, which is I think is a big deal too. They don't say anything about that.
Well, and on top of it too, it's like even if you can kind of fault LeBron for how he went about that portion of it. I mean, depending on how earlier. Literally at that decision, when he made the decision, if that was the first the teams had heard of it, you can kind of condemn him for that. But at the same time, I think it just goes to show how much worse it is when you do that, then go the next step and just literally be like in the span of 1 second, be like, snap a photo, yep, going here, sorry guys, or decommitted there, sorry guys, to have to find out that way is even worse. It's just another.
Yeah, you're right.
Behind it.
You're right, Todd. Absolutely.
True. Well, it's funny because one of the current players, and I'll get Jesse and Joe's take here. I have y'all about this. I don't know why I'm saying y'all for some reason. Maybe because we're talking about this. I don't know. But it's funny because one of the players. Not really. No, there are little bits up here, but no, not quite.
I like it. Keep it up.
One of the players tweets out. He says, "Y'all, look on the bright side. Our wide receiver coach finally taught someone how to separate." Oh, now that was that made me giggle a little bit. Moorhead. He sends a message. I don't know if this is an email or what this was exactly. Maybe on Twitter. I'm not sure. But this was sent out as the next day after the decommitments and after they blasted him on social media, things like that. He sends out, "Last night I made some impromptu comments on social media out of frustration and out of true love for Texas A&M football. I want to apologize to all the young men in high school who worked so hard to achieve their dreams of college football, and I wish them all well wherever they may end up. I also want to apologize to Coach Sumlin and the Aggie family for not representing our university the right way. I need to do better, and I will." All right, I understand that, but you just lost 3 top-tier recruits. You play in the SEC, which is hands down the toughest division in college football. I'm gonna go to Jesse here and then Joe. Should this guy, with what he did, I understand, you make a mistake, you do this, you do that, but you just lost 3 top-tier recruits who are probably going to go to your rival schools in the SEC now and are probably going to contribute in some way or another because of poetic justice in beating you at some point in the next 4 seasons. Should this guy keep his job?
Well, that's a really good question. I guess it's really up to head coach. But, I mean, I think he should get fired, honestly. I mean, these players you were asking earlier, are they soft-minded? Is that why they decided to leave? And I'd say no.
That's what he's claiming.
Yeah, no, I played college football, and I'll tell you, I hated it, and it's because I felt like the coaches were, you were just another number to them. You're an X or an O on the board. But, the thing that you love about high school football, it's, it's a family. Now you go and you're thinking about committing to the school, and all of a sudden you see that there's a coach who gets a little frustrated, and now he's sending out things about players. I wouldn't want to go there either. He made a really bad mistake, and I would fire him. He seems like a loose cannon.
And, it's the social media age, and these are 17-year-old kids. And, I think these kids would take more offense because of the way social media has grown up in this country, would take more offense to something like that done over Twitter than if he were to call them and say, hey, listen, I don't know if we want you to come anymore. I don't know if you're strong enough, blah, 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 blah. So I think that kid would be like, oh, okay, no big deal. But on Twitter, everybody in the country can see
You're right, Chris.
Yeah.
So
I think
– point. This guy Moorhead, being his age, and it is a generational thing, he may not be in tune to how impactful things said on social media are for kids who are 17 years old this day and age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm typing this in here. I'm trying to find his age here and see if my sources.
I thought it was 35.
Tell me his age. 35? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's
35.
Right. Yeah.
So
let me ask you guys something. If this guy did this, say you were a recruit yourself, would this bother you guys that much where you wouldn't commit there? Because, to be honest with you, I could care less. I got a chance to have a college scholarship. If my coach is going to tweet that, who the hell cares? That's just my opinion. I don't know if you guys think. I'm
kind of with you, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't blame any of the students who did decide to decommit because of what he did. I can see how it pissed them off. But me personally. No, me personally, I'm with you. It wouldn't infuriate me so much I have to leave. In fact, as far as firing the coach goes, it's like I don't know this coach. Maybe he's like a fantastic wide receiver coach. If he's that valuable to your team from a positional standpoint, I don't see why you have to fire him now. If he does it again,
if he's going to make you a better player, Jesus, you'll get over it. Time heals all wounds. I mean, kids are spineless nowadays. It's like grow a freaking pair, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Oh. The kids they're acting like kids. They're acting like children. I think
they are
entitlement out there.
I'm sorry. When you're 18 years old, you're a legal friggin' adult. Okay,
yeah,
you
legal.
Need to know what the hell is going on. Mommy's not going to change your diaper anymore. It's time to grow up hair and become a man. I'm sorry.
When you're offered a scholarship to play frickin' football, you take that at your age. Are you kidding me?
But if you're getting offered at more than one school, if more than one school is offering it to you, then why not go to the school where the coach isn't freaking out?
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I don't think that anybody that decommitted, I don't think that was their only option. That'd just be stupid.
No, that's good, Jeremy. Yeah.
Well, I got it pulled up right here. And Tate Martell, I started this whole thing by just simply saying, and again, he was a verbal commitment. So I don't know if you guys follow the
verbal commitment's a joke.
And that's a different case. Verbal commitment, the coach doesn't really have too much of a right to be pissed about that. Come on.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Unless he signs that letter of intent. Right. If he puts his name on a piece of paper and says I'm there, and then he backs out, then you got a problem. This verbal commitment crap is a joke. I don't know why anybody pays attention to that.
Well, if I was that good, I'd verbally
kids change their mind way too damn much.
Here's the thing. He's 5. Here's who the kid is. The first kid who decommitted, not the one, not the second one who did because of the but the first one who committed. Tate Martell, Las Vegas, Nevada, Bishop Gorman High School, dual quarterback, 5-star recruit, 5'10", 203 pounds, class of 2017. Okay, now other offers, and this is his list on the table right now, okay. Complete team list of who has, per se, recruited him, okay? Interest offers: Ohio State, Texas A&M, Washington, Alabama, Arizona, California, Colorado, Florida State, Fresno State, LSU, Memphis, Michigan, Texas Tech. I mean, I can keep going.
Jesus Christ.
Okay?
And the second coming.
Complaining about that. Go to Ohio State and play for Urban Meyer. You're going to win a national championship in 2 years. Jesus.
Screw Urban Meyer.
But it keeps going here. He's got got where else? Colorado State, Iowa State, Iowa, Wisconsin. So basically, now which ones has he received offers from? Well, the offers are pretty much all of them. The only ones he was not a scout from was Wisconsin, but that's because they don't need a quarterback right now. So looking at his list here, Texas, Alabama's fallen down. It's funny because now A&M in the last couple of days has moved to the bottom of his list. But it says right now, Warmer, right? Quote, Warmer. Now he's being recruited by Zach Smith and Tim Beck out in Ohio State. And right now, it looks like if he were to commit within the next however many days or whatever, right now it looks like he's going to Ohio State. So
saw that coming.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where he didn't really necessarily do anything wrong. He was a verbal commit, and he has all these offers from all these other schools that I just named off, and he just goes, you know what? I committed. I verbally committed last year, and simply, I mean, back to the article, you see the original tweet here, as Desmond reported. All this Tate Marshall kid said was, after talking with my family about what is best for my future, I have decided to reopen my recruiting program. And because of his clout, because of all the people who want him, this coach panics and goes, oh, Jesus, I just lost a recruit that's probably going to be an NFL player, because NCAA is a business, okay? These schools get money from kickbacks from guys who they send to the NFL. They get jersey deals, they get shoe deals, they get, stuff to improve their stadiums. They get this and that from these guys. If this guy were to be a good player for 3 years there, he would, and go to the NFL, all of a sudden, Texas A&M sent to the NFL. He looks that much better. And I think the reason why it's so much tougher in college football than it is in college basketball is because in college basketball, you're required 1 year. Okay, you can be a one and done. Now you have to go to college. You can't come out of high school anymore, but you only have 1 year. Okay, so even if you don't like a coach, if that's the school you want to go to and those are the guys you gel with and that's the program you have your heart set on, you can go there, stay for 1 year, and if you're good enough, apply for the combine and go to the NBA and go through your process. In college football, you have to stay for 3 years. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be 3 years of playing. Like,
right,
because Eli,
high school, I think, right? Yeah.
Well, no. Well, yeah, but
like
Eli
that.
Apple,
Yeah.
Eli Apple, who you guys just took in the draft, Jeremy, was a redshirt.
Here we go.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Right.
No, I'm not making fun of him. I'm just saying he was a redshirt sophomore.
Right.
Okay, so technically he came as a sophomore, but he was a redshirt, so he was an academic junior and a sophomore in terms of playing. So that's all you have to do. But these guys have to stay for 3 years of their life at this school in this program, and that's why I think for football. I mean, look at it this way: if you're starting a job, can you picture yourself staying at this job for 3 years, or is this one of those jobs where you're like, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those kind of things, because really being a quarterback at a college football level that's that big of a school really is a job for these guys. I mean, this becomes their life on campus, and we'll get into a little bit on if players should be paid or whatnot. But it's just one of those where he decommits, which happens all the time, and all of a sudden, he goes on this big Twitter rampage. I personally feel what happened to, I believe his name is Matt Baker. I'm going to look it up here again, but he was a running back recruit out of South Carolina, and he was committed. Now it's different because he was not a verbal commit. He was a signed commit. Okay. Now tell me that this is not more egregious. He was this happened, I believe, before last summer started. He was a verbal commit to the University of Louisville. Louisville had a couple of good running backs. They decided they wanted defensive backs. A week before National Signing Day, when this kid has to go on television and put the hat on and sign the contract and all the cameras are in his face and everything, he gets a call from a coaching staff at Louisville saying that they want to focus more on getting defensive backs in there because their defense has been hurting, and they are rescinding their scholarship offer to the kid. Last minute, okay, and a week before National Signing Day, and they wish him the best of luck and this and that, but they don't need a running back, they need blah, 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 blah. So this kid is left stuck a week before National Signing Day when you're already supposed to be signed with no school. So luckily,
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, that happened.
It's not like NCAA antics. I mean,
and I can send. I'll send the article over to the Satellite Sundays chat, so y'all can take a look at that and browse that while you're listening. But that
really pisses me off, to be honest with you. I think that's ridiculous. You know, they give the kids get all the slack. Coaches are half the responsibility here. Okay, if you're a damn coach and you have the balls to call that kid and tell him that, I hope your conscience and soul is kept in there, because I'm not going to use a sleep at night to do that to a kid. I'm sorry, I have a real problem with that. That's ridiculous.
Well, I'm going to try to pull this up here. Oh, here. Okay, Louisville scholarship. Okay, so just so you guys know, because this goes both ways here, and I'm trying to sort of play devil's advocate and show you guys both sides to the story, that yes, sometimes the coaches can make a mistake and get blasted like he is being throughout the country right now because of social media. But then I believe, I don't know if it was Jesse or Joe, but one of you came up with they agreed that it's worse having it be on social media than it is kid. 2015 National Signing Day class. Okay, here it is. It says it's less than 48 hours away. Bobby Petrino, who's kind of, some people have reservations about him to begin with, and his staff, they have revoked their scholarship offer. Matt Colburn, okay, 3-star running back, verbally committed to the Cardinal program since June of the year before. Okay, Colburn was the 4th player of the class, blah, 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 blah. National Signing Day on Wednesday, blah, 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 where is it here? Okay, so they called the kid and tell him that they're rescinding his offer, and again, 48 hours. It was actually less time than I thought. They come in and they Devontae Fields, who was a former TCU defensive end who was transferring, ended up snagging this kid's scholarship. He was the South Carolina Mr. Football. Okay, he was the number 1 recruit out of the state, and he was 48 hours away from signing with the school he's wanted to go to since he was a kid. The coach at Dutch Fork High School says that Louisville will no longer be allowed to recruit at their school again.
Chris,
so
did they say why they waited till that right moment to tell him that? Because that sounds ridiculous.
No. There was no real reason.
How can you? The guy committed the year before, and you wait till the second to last day? I mean, what sense does that make?
Well, here's the thing. It's verbal. It was a verbal commit, and again, on National Signing Day.
Yeah, fine.
The National Signing Day is when you actually sign, and once that happens, there's no going back to it. But so what they decided was, they said, okay, we have running backs. This kid's going to be a project. He played the first couple of years. We had a piss poor defense the year before. We want to get some more defensive backs in there. And NCAA is a business. It's a coke business. And they came up and said, they came in and they said, we need a corner. We need a guy who is going to shut down this defense, and not a guy who's going to sit on our bench for 2 years. He's only a verbal commit. You know what? Wish you the best, but we have to improve our football team. This is a business.
Yeah, you got to try
to wait on this
for that, man.
Can I wait on this, though?
Wait in real quick, because we got to go to the next segment.
Yeah, no, I'll try to make it quick, but that's the thing. You keep on saying the NCAA is a business. It's a non-profit business, and they don't pay their quote-unquote employees. In fact, the coaches are the highest-paid people in the entire school. And I get that they bring in a lot of money and this, that, the other, but it is really unfair, because you know what? They used to have 4-year scholarships. Now they cut it down to 1 or 2. So if someone gets injured, you can boot them off the team, because you're not going to bother giving them a scholarship if they're injured, right? It is unfair. Right. If you're going to hold someone to their side of the bargain, but you're going to reserve the right to cut them 2 days, or to cut your offer to them 2 days before National Signing Day, you need to be giving these kids some type of compensation, even if they're prima donnas, even if they get treated so well since high school. It's like, you need to give them something, so you know what? Not only have you given them something, but then they owe you something back. And now they have accountability to you, because you paid them. They're your kind of employees, and they owe you some type of behavior and performance on the other end of it. And now it's a business. Otherwise, it's just taking advantage.
I wrote an article about that in Overtime.news, because I had a whole thing about why I thought college athletes should be paid. I could talk about this all day. This is a double-edged sword, man. When you sign a piece of paper like that, you're walking into, you have no idea what's going on, man. It's a long, long process. People don't understand.
The funny thing is that this kid actually was scooped up later that day by Wake Forest.
Good for him.
And the funny thing is, he said he wasn't going to go to National Signing Day. He wasn't going to do all this. He didn't tell anybody he was doing this. He just shows up at National Signing Day, and everyone's like, "Whoa, the offer was rescinded. What the hell is he doing here?" and he was wearing red and black, okay, like a sweatshirt, which was obviously his Louisville colors. And he's sitting there at National Signing Day, and his name comes up on the camera, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, well, what's he gonna do? They just pulled his offer. He has to restart his recruiting process." He reaches down underneath the table and puts on a Wake Forest hat while wearing Louisville colors. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I love it. For him.
So he's playing for Wake Forest now. Unfortunately, Wake Forest sucks, but
I think it's 3 games in the next 4 years.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? He gets more playing time. He would have sat 2 more years. You know, it all works at the end. It's just the point. I think we started off social media being evil, now sort of twisted to the NCAA. But overall, I just think it's the NCAA. I could go on for all day. We have other topics to get to. I could go on all day about the NCAA and nonsense. But you know, something like that, hearing something like that, it really grinds my gears. And we're going to get into the new segment that we're debuting here.
You know what really grinds my gears? You, America. You.
And that's going to be the new segment. That's the new segment that we're getting into. Grinds my gears. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be sports related, okay? But for the next couple of shows, now this is Mother's Day. This is commercial free. This is a 2-hour program, commercial free. We didn't even have an intro today because we have so many hot topics to get to, and it's all sports today. Really, I figured this is the way that we're going to put the pop culture aspect into it. What I want people to think of, and if you can think of something, I know Jeremy has a lot of pet peeves. Jeremy's pissed off. Jeremy's pissed off by a lot of things. So
we have enough
when
time
you hear that, we may or may not. When you hear that, again, when you hear this,
you know what really grinds my gears? You, America. You.
I want you to tell me something that pisses you off. Okay.
I got one already.
Yeah, I'm all good to go.
I'll start with I was at Chipotle the other day. Went to lunch at work, and I had the free coupon day. And I'm sitting there, and I'm watching the people in line in front of me, and you know the first lady is just as if she's never ordered food before. You know, is sitting there like, well, can I? Okay, so is that a bowl or okay? And then that comes with like lettuce and do I have to have rice and well, do I want a bowl? You know, and there's like a 10-person line, so I'm like, lady, hurry the, you know what? Come on. So then all that happens. That lady ends up ordering. She does this. The guy in front of me walks up. Now I don't know if any of y'all have eaten Chipotle before, but you know they have the guy who.
Good stuff.
It's amazing. But he makes, you know how they have the first guy or girl, whatever, who makes the food. They put the thing in the bowl. They ask you if you want the rice and all that stuff. Then they slide it down to the next one, and then they put the other stuff on, and then they slide it down to the cashier, right? Well, the first guy in line, this guy walks up to him, shoves the coupon like almost at his nose, and goes, "Yeah, I want a bowl. I have a coupon for free stuff."
Oh.
Okay. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself,
serious?
like this guy doesn't care that you have free food. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, great, you got a coupon. Tell the cashier. Don't tell the guy that's putting the beans in the bowl. He doesn't give a
where it matters.
Yeah, right.
So he's like, I got free coupon, blah blah blah. And you see the guy go, "No, okay, sir, great. You know, do you want pinto or black bean? You know, like so then he slides it down to the lady who puts the corn pico and the sauces on, and he goes, "I have a coupon for free," like, and he shoves it in her face, and that's like, and she's like,
"Yeah," and the girl's like,
yeah, and the girl's
you know what it reminds me of, Chris?
Great. What?
My pet peeve: people who, similar to this maybe, but people who stand in line at the 7-Eleven and order their lottery tickets for 5 minutes.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Oh my God! Oh, dude.
Or a soda. Please.
And all you want to do is pay for gas, right? And oh my God, yeah.
Like you're on your way somewhere, you just need like 2 gallons. Like, I'm just trying to make it. Don't worry.
I have a word of pet peeve, man. I got the word.
What is that? What is that?
Listen, okay. You know what? I hate McDonald's. What the hell is the difference between a McDouble and a double cheeseburger? I'm paying an extra 20 cents because you're putting one less piece. Are you freaking kidding me?
Why am I surprised that Jeremy's pet peeve is food related?
To be fair, though, that slice of cheese, I agree, it was monumental. You took away a serious portion of that sandwich.
It really does taste so much different without a piece of cheese. It's like $1 for a McDouble and $1.29 for a double cheeseburger. Yeah, I'm really going to complain about 30 cents? Get the hell out of here.
I'm going to complain about a lack of cheese. It's not 30 cents. It's a lack of cheese.
I know. Well, I need cheese.
To finish the story real quick, before I get into it, because I'll grab a couple of pet peeves from the rest of you guys, but just real quick to finish the story, because I just couldn't help but just die a little bit laughing in the inside of this store. He's telling every single person, I got a coupon for free stuff. And, ladies, okay, so you want the corn pico? You want sour cream? Like, I don't care. Gets all the way down to the cat. No, I didn't, but I'm not that evil. So he gets all the way down to the cashier, right? Same thing. Yeah, I got this coupon in the mail for free stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
Expired.
The coupon didn't work. It was expired.
Yes.
Oh, that's
So I'm sitting there. Yeah, and I'm sitting there like, good Lord. And then I have to sit there and wait to pay for my food because he's arguing with them that he just got it in the mail 2 days ago and it's expired. And she's like,
this guy's life. Jesus.
Yeah, and she's like, sir, you didn't get it in the mail 2 days ago. We sent this coupon in February. and I'm just sitting there, So I start to give the signs because I just want to eat my food. I'm half tempted to rip open my bowl and just start eating in line, and because I'm going to pay for it.
Are you sure that wasn't Dustin?
It was not Dustin, no, because Dustin would have come over the counter and choked her. So anyway, sorry, Dustin, we love you. So here's the thing. So she's like, yeah, sir, this is expired, blah blah blah. And he's like, no, I just got it, blah blah blah. So I start giving the signs of a frustrated patron. I'm just, behind him in line, and then the, like that. Start tapping my feet, doing the whole
creepy,
thing.
Man.
I know, right? It kind of sounded a little different, but anyway.
Yeah,
so he's like, he's like, I just got this yesterday, and blah blah blah. And you can see the first guy down at the end of the line is making somebody else's bowl or whatever he's making down here, and you just see him just chuckle because he literally had the coupon shoved in his face, and you just see the guy go. And I can just hear it. I can hear the guy putting the stuff in two people behind me now. I can hear him putting the stuff in their bowl going. And so
I love
it's so finally they I guess bring in the manager because of course you have to get the manager because there's kids that work there and they get flustered and don't know what to do instead of just telling the guy to piss off and pay for his food. Yeah. So then instead of telling the guy to piss off and go, I'm getting so instead of telling the guy to piss off and just pay for your food, dude, it's a $5 bowl or whatever it is at Chipotle. Just pay for the damn thing. The 7-year-old girl working there is like, oh my God, well, okay, let me see what we do. Meanwhile, the line is 10 people long, all done with food, ready to pay. Has to go back, find the manager. The manager's on the phone, so then you have to wait for them. And I'm just like, oh, good Lord. So it literally took me what normally takes me 10 minutes to go in, go out, and it took me 45 minutes at Chipotle. Finally, they get this.
45 minutes.
Yeah, because finally the manager comes out. He's typing in all this stuff on the computer. He's doing all this stuff. He's looking at the coupon. Maybe I typed the wrong number in. Okay, let me go back. Blah blah blah. No, okay. Blah, blah. So long story short, yes, Jeremy, they honored the coupon.
Oh, for Christ's sake! Did they comp your meal at least, or making you wait that damn long?
No, but it.
Are you serious?
No, they didn't comp anybody's meal.
I would have been pissed.
As soon as they were done with. As soon as they were done with the typing in the whole thing and honoring, they just go, okay, sir, have a great day. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, next. And then the manager goes back into the thing, and they just go about their daily life.
That's unbelievable.
Miserable.
Yeah.
I can't believe you had the balls to stay in line for 45 minutes. I would have killed myself.
I was hungry.
I would have been on your
damn food there. Oh, my God. I would have ate the damn food and say, see you later.
I could be exaggerating. Maybe it wasn't 45. I know that the whole trip was 45, and it is, and there is a little bit of a drive. So I don't know if it was 45 standing there, but either way, that just prompted me. That alone prompted me for this.
You know what really grinds my gears? You, America. You.
So that's what I did, and I have to censor it because we are syndicated now, so I can't put the actual thing in there, but So Jeremy, with his one expletive piece of cheese, you've got the lottery tickets, in Massachusetts. Jason, you're a pretty easygoing, fun-loving guy. You get along with everybody. Do you have anything that just that has happened to you recently that you're just like, oh my God?
You know what? It kind of goes into what you guys were saying about Chipotle. It's pretty much customer service. I feel like customer service in general at most establishments is at an all-time low.
You're right.
Social media. I don't know if it's social media because, like, let's say you go to, like, a restaurant. They're just pretty much they're not even happy to be doing their job. They feel like they should be somewhere else. And 9 out of 10 times, they're secretly tweeting about that. So I just feel like customer service all across the board, real estate down to retail, everybody's just like taking a step back and feeling more entitled. That's what really grinds my gears.
Now, before I go into this next thing, I don't want to offend anybody here. I don't really care about the listeners, honestly, when it comes to offense, because that's the radio. But for you guys, nobody here works at or has a family member that works at a fast food place.
My mom used to work at McDonald's.
Used to or does now?
Used to.
Okay, good. Then it doesn't count. So
out of the industry.
This is something that I thought was funny, and I'm going to say you don't necessarily have to be a Harvard scholar to work at one of these places, and that's why they want to raise the minimum wage to $15 because it's a hard day's work of flipping burgers. But I always thought it was funny that there was a prank call that had happened a couple weeks ago to a Burger King in Minnesota. Now I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but somebody called, and I'll pull this article up and put it in the chat if you guys want to read. There was a prank call that happened in Minnesota to a Burger King. It was an anonymous source, and they used one of those voice, things to make it sound like the movie trailer guy. And there was a prank call that said that there was a gas leak in the building, and that everybody needs to get out of the building because if they inhale the gas, they're going to die, and that they need to smash all the windows to let the gas out. Okay. There's a video on YouTube, and I'm going to try to find the video right now and people are stopping and taking photos of these employees going to their cars and getting tire irons and standing outside of this Burger King and smashing all of the windows at this Burger King. And it was a break.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, they're just sitting there smashing the windows, and you just hear glass breaking, and people going, "Oh my God, we got to get this, we got to help this gas, we got to get it out." They're smashing all the windows. They destroyed every plate glass window in that Burger King. The cops come, and they're like, "Well, there's a gas leak," and the cop just goes, "First of all, a gas leak, it's going to smell like rotten eggs, so you'll know. Second of all, the time it took for you to listen to the phone call, you probably would have been unconscious. Third of all, you leave and you call the police. You don't smash the windows." So this Burger King has been on commission because those big glass windows are expensive, So now they've lost how much money in all this glass that they just smashed because somebody prank called.
That franchise owner stood up and shook his head for like a good 25 minutes. Like a straight up fire, whatever.
Cowboys fans.
They weren't Cowboys fans. I think they were Vikings fans because it was in Minnesota.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I'm gonna find the clip here and I'm gonna put it in. Jeremy, you with the shots here today, man.
I'm telling you,
Burger King. Window, where is it? Window, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna grab the YouTube up here, put it in the Satellite Sundays chat for you to look at. So that's the grind my gears. And so we've pretty much heard from everybody. Last year, I just want to get into Joe. You were the lottery ticket guy, right?
Yeah.
Jesse, do you have any that happened to you? Remember, every week as you go about your daily life, I want to hear about all the things that just make you facepalm every Sunday. So whatever happens to you during the course of the week, I want you to bring it out on Sundays and air your dirty laundry. You don't have to give names. Something that just you know what I'm saying? And is there anything that did that to you this week?
Well, not necessarily any one thing, but I tell you, one thing that I consistently really hated is when people misuse the word literally, and they say literally all the time. They say, "Oh, I'm literally dying right now from laughter. I'm literally dying." Oh, really? You're literally dying? Should I call an ambulance for you? Are you okay? No, I hate that.
Well, that brings you back to social media too, where you're like, oh my God, I'm dead right now. Let's say hashtag dead, like, oh,
yeah.
Dead, and yeah. Oh, okay. Well, then should I delete? You're no longer alive. Like, what should be? Yeah, I hear you. That is a solid one, because I look at all this stuff on social media.
Chris, can I add one more?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, just one small one, and this is it couldn't. When people say I could have cared less or I couldn't have cared less, most people say I could have cared less. What you're saying when you say I could have cared less is the opposite of what you mean. The correct way to say it is I could not have cared less, meaning this topic is at the bottom of my care ratio. I couldn't care less. I could care less.
We've got a bunch of grammar.
I could care less.
I could care less. Is basically like, no, I'm all right with it. I could have cared a little less, you know.
Well, yeah.
Truthfully,
I can care less about a lot of things. One other thing I mentioned it, and we do have to move on here. We've got a great free here on Mother's Day. 54 minutes left to go at Sundays. One of the things that also kind of ticks me off a little bit is, when, and I don't necessarily see, there are people out there who I'm a grammar Nazi as well, and so I'll keep the trend here as long as we're doing this. Is when people said, "Oh, well, me and Jeremy went down to the store," or me and so-and-so, or me and Jason, or me and Todd. You mean Todd and I?
Don't include me in your shenanigans.
Todd and I, I correct people constantly, and they're like, "Oh, well, who are you to judge me?" I'm like, an English major, maybe. That's me. That's kind of what I do. So it's one of those things where I don't know. I feel like
to be fair.
But
yeah,
by the way, I just sent the clip. I just sent the Windows Match clip to the Satellite Sunday show. If you want to check it out, but
Chris, not to be a jackwagon here, but what kind of grinds my gears is people who correct my grammar when I'm speaking, and they clearly understand what I'm saying, and then just decide to correct it anyway. So
exactly.
I think that one goes both ways.
That's it.
Yeah, that does suck too.
It does suck, but here's the thing: if you use the correct grammar, you won't have to have somebody correct you. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to use the correct grammar. I like my grammar.
I'll tell you what grinds my gears.
Well, I get it. And so we have we're going to be talking about the Patriots coming up. And Donna might call in. And hold on, let me just. She's actually messaging me right now, laughing about some of the things she wanted to put one of her pet peeves in, so we'll see if she's able to get it to me. She's driving right now, so Brianna, please drive responsibly and don't use your Snapchat speed filter. So I'm let me jump into this one thing. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, cool. I just have to upload. I'm doing everything here. I don't have interns, so I have to kind of put everything together. Grinding my gears. Speaking of that, here's another thing, and it's ground my gears, but it's not part of the segment. And I'm going to pull up this article because this is something that I'm really passionate about. And Jeremy, I want to get your take on this too, because you're the one who usually has strong opinions on this kind of thing. Raiders, as you know, are planning on possibly moving to the to Las Vegas. Yeah. There is a petition out there right now on change.org. Okay, I'm trying to find these names because I am going to put her on blast. Let me see here. What's this lady's name? I can't find her. I want to put her on blast, but I can't seem to find her. But I'll find it in a minute. But regardless, she started a petition because if the Raiders do move to Oakland, okay, she wants to change the team name and the team colors.
What?
Okay. Yeah. She wants to do that.
Yeah.
Because
idiot.
Yes, because let's see, Oakland Raiders fan Dr. Death starts a petition to keep them in Oakland. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. Change color.
She wants to change the name and like the nickname.
Yeah,
Does she want to change the logo too?
Yeah,
this is what you want.
But
you want me to read that?
I read your things on that here. You guys sound fine. Sometimes it's just blog talk, but I'm listening to the live feed as we go, and the live feed is fine. So, if you bear with it, that'd be great. If not, feel free to call on a phone. I don't know why blog talk is. Maybe blog talk would take it away from some other. I don't know. But here it is. Now this will be delivered to Mark Davis. Okay. And here's what the lady says. You got 150 signatures. Colleen is her name, from Henderson, Nevada. Here's what the petition says. There is a chance that the Oakland would relocate to our wonderful city in Las Vegas, Nevada. Most of us citizens would be overjoyed to have an NFL team in our town. Our town has everything. The only thing is a professional sports team, and moving the Raiders here would be a dream come true. But we are asking for the name of the team and the colors to be changed, perhaps voted on by some country. As long as we rid the team of the silver and black colors and the Raider name. This is Las Vegas. We want. No, she goes on to say, this is Las Vegas. We want a fresh start. We want a fresh team. We want to start our own legacy and not be part of someone else's. Thank you, and I hope you understand. Now,
Chris, can I weigh in on this?
Oh God, please do. I'm going to kill myself.
First of all,
you all are welcome. You all are welcome to weigh in. I just think, honestly, after reading that, I just need to play this real quick.
You know what really grinds my gears? You, America. You.
Damn right.
Look, first of all, the move for the Raiders, I got to say, to Las Vegas is brilliant if it happens.
I love it.
I think
I love it too.
The perfect marriage of that outlaw team going to Sin City. I think Mark Davis, it could be a brilliant stroke. It could change the NFL even. I mean, a fresh start for the Raiders in Las Vegas. I could think of nothing better. I love it. And the concerns about, I'll get to the petition in a second, but the concerns about the gambling, come on. First of all, gambling is so widespread. It's not like because they're in Vegas suddenly they're going to be corrupted. They can be corrupted out in Oakley. You know, it makes no difference. I understand the PR image of it, but nuts and bolts of it. What is some mafia guy going to come down and try to strong arm the NFL? They're the mafia. Are you kidding me?
Joe Pesci come down with a baseball bat?
Yeah, put a pen in someone's hand.
Does she really think that the NFL and Mark Davis would change the name of the team? Are you kidding me?
That's part of their identity. That's part of
their silver and black has been around
part of their
value ever. I know. I can't imagine not being called a Raiders fan. What are you going to call them? The Las Vegas casino gamblers? What the hell are you?
Yeah.
You can't change the name.
She's all for a rocker. 9 signatures, not one more.
A couple of the suggested names here. I'm looking at. Where are they here? Some of the names here were the Yard Goats. No, that's only all in Connecticut that have weird names.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad we got that one.
Looking at let's see some of the names here. Oh, I want to change to, let's see, Coyotes, Desert, Desert Storm. They wanted to change some of these are just suggestions of people commenting on the petition.
I'm going to throw up. I just feel
just the fact that
the Las Vegas
thinks it's a good thing.
It could be the dealers, the Las Vegas dealers.
That's hilarious.
We deal out punishment, blah blah blah, Yeah. So, but
why don't we just call them the Los Angeles Gazelle?
Yeah, but what are you going to change the colors to? What are they going to be, like pink and purple? I mean,
red and black.
Now, here's the thing. If they want a team, there are several cities in this country that don't have a professional NFL team that could support the team. But you have to start two. You can't have an odd number of teams. So, okay, start one in freaking, I don't know, somewhere. Start one anywhere else in the country if you want one. And put an expansion team in Vegas and expand the playoffs and do the whole thing. And yeah, it'll be a couple-year process, but it works.
That's weird for
you can't
divisions,
take a team. You can't take a team that has been around for 50 years.
Yeah.
Because you look at colors, okay? You look at colors, and the Raiders don't have a horrible throwback jersey. They don't have throwback jersey days. You know why? Because they're wearing their throwbacks. They haven't changed since the organization started.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Alabama's turning over in his freaking grave and listening to this.
Literally
John
is turning over his grave.
Oh my God.
I mean, for God's sake,
I wish John Madden would come back to life and eat this broad.
Yeah, Ice Cube wants to murder this woman.
Oh my God. This is like the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And she has 150 signatures here.
100.
In the words,
non-fans. No one signed that as a football fan.
In the words of Vincent K. McMahon, there's no chance in hell if the Raiders are changing colors, names, anything like that. No chance in hell.
She comes out and she said that they don't know that. Now, this one lady speaks from her city by saying that we'd be overjoyed to have the Raiders come here, but we want the name and changed because we want a fresh start, fresh team.
Who the hell does this lady think she is?
She's crazy. Does she not understand the economical impact that's going to happen when the Raiders relocate to Vegas? How many?
They're going to make $1 billion off of that.
I don't know about you guys, but if I see the Giants have a game in Vegas, you think I'm not taking that road trip? Hell yeah!
Dude, think about this too, right? Can you imagine I feel like whatever team, like the team that locates there, all of a sudden, the players they can recruit. Like, can you imagine if Johnny Manziel was drafted to that team, like his rookie year? Like that, some of those players would go
he'd be dead before the season.
How much their contracts are for? They would just
he'd be buried next to Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel would already be dead. Either something related to coke, prostitutes, something.
Well, I guess I'm probably
bad. Is she attributed to legacy? Even the final sentence of the petition says, "This is Las Vegas. We want a fresh start. We want a fresh team. We want to start our own legacy." No, she says we want to start our own legacy, not be part of someone else's. So she even says that this team is a legacy team, that this is a team that has one of the most traditional. I know that they've had a tough decade with the win-loss, but this is the most traditional team in the league. When you think of the NFL, I guarantee you, somebody who doesn't watch football on a basis in the fall,
right? They see Raiders fans in the stands.
NFL team. To name 5 NFL, they don't watch football. Raiders will be one of their 5 that they mention. Everybody knows this team, okay? And they've been good, but they're a legacy team. You want to change the name and change the colors. And Jason makes a good point. The economic aspect of it. These are the same people, now albeit for these are the same people that want to change the Redskin team name colors because of that whole thing. Now that's a different thing. That's the racism comes into it and whatever. But the point is, you have to change the fight song. You have to change the logo. You have to get new jerseys. Vote on colors. You have to get new. You have to change the entire culture. Like, you're not just destroying.
You're changing everything.
The Oakland Raiders, and we're going to wear a new helmet and a new jersey. You're changing everything. You're changing merchandise, the fight song, tickets, the stadium, the sponsors. Everything changes when you do this. You know?
Well, and in Las Vegas too, I feel like that's so much of that crowd's just going to be like a tourist, like who's in town for this game type
right,
thing.
They're not going to care.
So you say start a new legacy, you're not even going to inherit any fans who just like the Raiders. All of a sudden, you're going to have to build a whole new fan base because you're going to have no people carrying over as like Raiders.
Right.
And that's not a town to really build an at-home crowd. It's going to be a lot of people just being like, oh, what's to do for the night? Okay, we'll go to the game. Like Sunday night, big rich person, we'll just go attend.
You're right.
So like, it's so hard to build a crowd that way.
And
totally agree with you.
A lot of people aren't going to, like you said, be fans from Vegas. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to fly down there, drop down there, and go to the game. They're going to have these hold it one season ticket holders because they'll be all the way up at Oakland, but there will still be fans who are Raider life go to these games whether they're big or not. So it was something on the radio the other day, and it kind of hit me because I look at my team. Now, I know that Jerry would not do this in Dallas, but Dallas is another one of those legacy traditional teams. And you look at it like, what if the Dallas Cowboys move? What if the Dallas Cowboys were to move to Oklahoma City or were to move to, somewhere in Arkansas, just because Jerry Jones is from Arkansas, and they said, you know what? we're not cowboys up here. This is the West. I want to be, a cowboy. I want our own legacy, as she phrases it. What would happen if my team changed their colors and changed their name? So I'm looking at it from a perspective saying, oh, my God, like this could be catastrophic to a football fan.
That's unbelievable. This whole thing is ridiculous. I love he has 150 signatures. Like, that's going to get me elected president of my PTA. Are you freaking kidding me?
Let me ask you guys all a question, though. Let me ask you a question. Does anybody here crying over the Seattle Supersonics still, or the Houston Oilers, or anything like that?
No,
I mean, I'm probably the only one that doesn't really care about this. I don't care if Oakland goes to Vegas and changes
unless
from
you
the
were
Raiders.
a loyal fan, I would think you would have cared if they moved from Seattle. But it's like, you haven't heard anything from it. Nobody wants a team back in Seattle. You don't hear anything about it anymore.
Well, you know what, too? Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like they're taking a team that has a fan base. Oakland's bad, good, whatever. Those fans care. So it's like it's not taking
like
a franchise that's in the dumps.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in the dumps record-wise, but wherever they've been, L.A., Oakland, they've had like a huge fan base. So it's kind of stupid.
They still travel
gigantic
pretty well on the road.
Houston Oilers were a big team back in the day. They were one of the traditional football teams, and they were still around as a franchise. And it wasn't the Tennessee Titans; it was still the Houston Oilers.
And look at
what we'd be talking about them in the same
and look
way.
at the first, and they got an expansion team over there, probably because they realized they took it out of a big market.
Yeah, that was a gold mine there.
Mm-hmm. So it's still.
I'm looking at this lady. I'm seeing what else, because apparently she has a bunch of change.org petitions. So I want to go on here while we go on the next segment. I want to look at some of the other weird, crazy things that she has on here. So hold on.
The sky from blue to green. Christ.
I'm going to Google her name and see if she has a criminal record, because I think she's clinically insane.
I'm surprised.
But so
just got out of an institution last year.
So speaking of this here, we do have to jump real quick. I just want to get your guys' take on Charles Oakley calling out Charles Barkley comment in Cleveland.
I saw it.
It's one of those things. Charles Barkley, the round mound of rebound, has a lot of negative things to say about Cleveland. And Charles Oakley straight up called him out and said, well, you know what, you weren't even physical when you played. And I just want to say that's going to sort of be our BS quote of the week. We're going to jump up here with 37 minutes left. Do you think Charles Oakley should just leave it alone and say that, well, you're one of the best rebounders, but you weren't physical when you played? Or should Charles Oakley just say, I was a great player, that's it.
Cares?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But you know what? Oakley has every right to say what he wants, and Barkley does too. I don't think either one of them should censor themselves. Barkley, most of all. I mean, he's a breath of fresh air. He says some stuff that...
Yeah, I love hearing Charles Barkley talk.
Yeah, if he wasn't Barkley, some of the stuff he says he would have been fired for, but he's Barkley. He gets away with it.
Charles Barkley should be on with
Charles.
Kelly Ripa.
Oh, that'd be
Look
great,
at this
wouldn't it?
here, and there's change.org petition that has 92 supporters, has almost as many as that lady's petition, and it is change the name and Raiders color, blah blah. The petition is to remove Colleen Bellini's from change.org, and they say Colleen doesn't seem to understand the word legacy. She wants Vegas. She says Vegas wants the Raiders, but she started a petition to change the name and colors, which really means you don't get the Raiders. You get a new team. If you want a new team, you get an expansion team. And as of me saying the sentence, there remain 4 more. So Raider Nation it was just posted today. So Raider Nation is taking a stand here. They're gonna want their own kind of team. So
to be fair though, that is you can get the Raiders change the name and still have the same franchise. It's happened with the Coyotes in hockey. It's like they're not like because like the Jets, the Winnipeg Jets became the Coyotes. The Winnipeg Jets now are not the old Winnipeg Jets. It's a different franchise. But I still agree with you.
Just call them the Las Vegas Jerry Tarkanians. Get it over with.
Yeah, fair enough. Either way, I still agree with the crowd yelling at her. So.
Yeah, it's the same way like with the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, it was the New Orleans Hornets and Charlotte Bobcats. They just changed all that.
Right.
So I'm just going to jump into this because I'm segueing into the New England Patriots segment here because I think that's going to take our remaining 34 minutes. But a couple of things.
The segment's over.
Well, Jeremy, here's the thing. You live in Connecticut. Obviously, you sound normal. Todd,
Thank
you live in Massachusetts. I was in Massachusetts yesterday for work, and
everyone sounded awesome.
And I was in a town called Spencer, and it was Spencer, you know, and then Webster. Okay, so what I don't understand is, and the Yankees were widening the rectums of the Red Sox yesterday, so they were a little bit more salty.
Oh, come on.
They were a little bit more salty.
I had the umpire was widening the rectum of the Red Sox.
Sucks.
And he does.
So I'm trying to talk about David Price.
They were a little bit more salty because I had New York than normal. I noticed, and I'm sitting here noticing that Joe and Jesse sound a little bit more normal too, even though they're from New England. And if we're doing the grind my gears thing, we're using the Family Guy quote. Todd, I have to do this, man. It's not sports related, but this just reminds me of you.
Going.
This just reminds me of you. I don't know why, but it does. So here on Mother's Day, commercial-free Satellite Sundays, we're talking about the Midwest, and we were talking about the people out in the Midwest with the window smashing and the whole thing, and we're talking about funky accents. Todd, this is just, I don't know why this reminds me of you. This is not a Boston thing. This is a Midwestern thing. It's just the accent thing.
Lois is your wife. You should be defending her, not talking trash and gossiping behind her back like some kind of Midwestern teenager.
Did you gals hear about Allie Gallagher? She let Alan Ackerman smack her in the back with his tallywhacker behind the snack shack.
What? Nobody here in Maryland understands a single word you're saying. You should move back to Minnesota.
I can't go back. I Snapchatted Matt Gacarac a Kodak on my ass crack.
So that's what that reminds me of. That it just every time you talk, I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's awesome.
Great. That's great. I'm happy to be associated with such excellent quotes and bits.
Yes, it's amazing. And oh boy, speaking of that, we're gonna get into the New England Patriots being. I think personally, I don't think personally. I think against this personally, but I've heard this argument come up that the New England Patriots could be considered the new America's team. And I say that because they share a lot of similarities to the 90s Cowboys, both on and off the field. So think about it. Think about it. The polarizing aspect of a team that wins constantly, that the entire nation hates, partially because they win, players on the teams that are now they don't have the same criminal record that the 90s Cowboys had, but I'm going to tie this whole cheating allegations into it because basically whether they did it or not, that's basically sort of the same thing. It was an off-the-field incident. In case of Deflategate, it was on the field.
Perceived is the same thing because honestly it's nothing close to the same, but continue.
But yes.
Oh,
and
there
then
we go.
I'm looking at it as I'm looking at this also as it's a team that is just the country loves to hate, but they're also the Patriots, which is America, which is patriotic. They wear the colors, they wear this and that. Should we take the America's team logo off of the Dallas Cowboys and put on the New England Patriots, which is what was presented to me, by somebody in New England?
I'm going to surprise you, Chris, and say yes.
Can I hear Todd's take on it?
Can I go first really quick? I actually have one question and then my opinion, which isn't going to change based off the question, but just an honest question.
Okay.
In those early 90s, Cowboys, America's team, did they like them when they were killing everybody? I was pretty young, sadly enough. I don't remember. Were they simultaneously hated and America's team?
Yes, and because the America's team was self-given. Okay, they called themselves America's team.
Okay,
and
I learned
why.
I learned something
and you know,
today.
Down there in Texas, where it's all God's country.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
So
everything's bigger.
Here's
but
my
in case you know, Todd, they have a big roof. In the old stadium, they used to say it's America's team, and the hole in the roof is so that every Sunday God can watch his favorite football team. That's what they used to say.
So here's my feeling on it then. Here's my feeling on it then. So if it's a self-appointed thing, the only way I could get behind it is in the sense that if it just helped troll the Cowboys, which would have extra special meaning to me now that I speak with you and Dustin every Sunday, that would be great.
I love it.
Honestly, when I thought it was calling it America's team as in like, oh, America's behind them, America's absolutely not, because I absolutely love that everyone hates the Patriots. It makes it, when I rant about them, so much more enjoyable. I would never want anyone to like the Patriots. They take all the fun out of it for me. But I'm kind of self-appointed to control you guys.
Back in the 90s, the Dallas Cowboys, the Deion Sanders, the Emmitt Smith, the Leon, but I'm saying like the Leon Letts of the world, they made headlines. They could sneeze and make headlines, and it's the same thing with the New England Patriots. Everything that organization does is national news. I mean, Robert Kraft.
Huh? Do we have an American team? I think they hate the Patriots more now than the Cowboys. I think a lot of people hate the Patriots more. I really do.
They do. And I've had several people up here on my FM show who, because we carry the Giants and all that, who used to just troll me and be like, oh, you're a Cowboy fan in upstate New York. And I've had those same people tell me, oh, you know what? The Cowboys have moved up to second on my hatred list. I hate the Patriots more now. And I don't understand it, but it sort of made me think this is the 90s Cowboys team because, I mean, Robert Kraft could be taking a dump in Gillette Stadium and it would make headlines. So it's the same thing, whereas that popularity that they had where they could really do no wrong, but yet by doing no wrong, they were actually doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? That same thing that the Cowboys had back then, the Patriots have now.
I think Cowboys were like
more polarizing figures.
Cowboys were like
ladies,
bad boys,
one at a time.
weren't they? Sorry.
America's team has to
screw that, ladies.
What was that?
Can't be considered America's.
Well, they are America's team until the throne is taken off of them, of course. But,
they've won 2 playoff games in 20 years.
Well, exactly. Which is why I'm saying should they maybe not be America's team? The Patriots are named after. I mean, Patriot. If that doesn't scream America, I don't know what does. Right. And then you're looking at the colors, and then you look at the polarizing aspect. The Patriots now, and you might not agree with me. I'm going to get Jason's take in a second. You might not agree with me, but you also might agree with me. This Patriots team is the Cowboys of the mid-'90s. Jason, am I wrong here?
No, you're pretty accurate. You're pretty right on about that. There's a lot of similarities. The only similarity I don't see is probably the ownership, whereas, Kraft is not as flamboyant as Jerry Jones. But other than that, there's a lot of similarities.
My only other thing with it. My only other thing with it though is like, if I and again I was young, so I'm not actually so in tune with like the Cowboys, America's team like era. But with Deion Sanders and Michael Irvin and all of them, like they were all bad boys, weren't they? So it's like
they were arrogant.
So my only thing is that the Patriots way, half of the reason why the Patriots are hated so much too is because they do kind of toe that line with not playing around with the media. They're not loud and obnoxious, this, that, the other. So for them to self-appoint themselves America's team would not make sense.
The Patriots think it's more ego than anything.
As the Cowboys.
It's not,
So it's like, I think for the Patriots to be America's team, it would be a different context than when the Cowboys were. It's not that like, like we're better than everyone else, like publicly thing. They just kind of do what they do and go, next Sunday we're gonna win again.
Put it this way.
It's a good strategy. That team's good too. But what?
Well, put it this way. Back in between 91 and 96, unless you lived in North Texas or unless you were a fan of that organization, you wanted the Dallas Cowboys to lose, okay? Because they were that good. They were that good. They were that good, and they used to just beat the hell out of you physically. And it just seemed to be this was the team that, oh, my God, we're playing the Cowboys this week. And for the last couple of years, it has been the same thing. Unless you live in the 5 New England states or unless you're a fan that lives somewhere else in the country, everybody in the country that I speak to that's not a Patriots fan or that doesn't live in New England wants New England to lose every week. And I think
let me tell you something.
I think it's the same thing.
Yeah, fair.
What?
I grew up watching it. I've been watching the New York Giants in 1984. I grew up watching the Cowboys early 90s. I hated them with a passion. I don't hate them honestly as much as I used to, but like I hated the way it was on and off the field is what people had the problem with. On the field they would kick everybody's ass, but off the field they were jackasses. Michael Irvin had a cocaine problem. He was in jail every week. It was something different.
With the whole Nate Newton with the weed truck.
Yeah, Nate Newton's an idiot. But it's like I don't really dislike the Patriots as much as a lot of people around here do, because I actually like Tom Brady, which I'm going to get a lot of lip for later. But it's like I think it depends on the people who you are around you. If you're surrounded by these kind of fans like this, you're going to jump on the bandwagon. You're going to say, "Oh, I hate these guys," and that's the problem nowadays. I used to watch Troy Aikman kick the Giants' ass every 2 games. It made me disgusted. I hated Troy Aikman growing up. But then when you move on 20 years later, you respect him more for the way he played. It's like the comparisons are unbelievable. You compare Aikman to Brady, it's not even close. And Belichick to Jimmy Johnson are complete opposites. It's like some of them are complete opposites. Some of it's like, wow. It's like
I think
you're right on with this.
I think we had an epiphany. I think Jeremy finally has a point. I think that Tom Brady, everyone hates him now, and he models for Uggs, and it's Tom Brady, he's a cheater, and he's this and that.
He's the greatest quarterback.
Yeah,
ever.
10 years from now, they're going to look back at it. We're not even going to have Tom Brady. They're not even be selling Tom Brady jerseys anymore. People are like, you know what? As much as I didn't like him back then, that dude could ball, and I think people are really going to think that. But
I think
what
people
were you
realize too, Chris. I think Dallas. Let me just say this. I think Dallas, to be honest, had a lot more talent than the Patriots did. Tom Brady had nothing to work with for 3 or 4 years, so he got Randy Moss
That's
and
true.
Welk in there. So it's like, I think people don't realize, like, as much as people don't realize Dallas had Pro Bowl players at pretty much every single position.
Yeah, that team was loaded. That's for sure.
And now it's like New England has Brady and Belichick, and that's about it. So it's like, if you could compare them, I get that, but it's like, it's unbelievable.
But for like the full span of the era. Like for the full span of it, it's really just been like Brady and Belichick. I think he's saying.
It's been Brady and Belichick for like 10, almost 15 years.
Can I thank you, Jeremy?
You're welcome.
Can I thank you? I believe you did say that in 10 years, Tom Brady will be known as the greatest of all time. I think I think Dustin challenged us to find a non-Patriots fan who would agree that Tom Brady was the greatest of all time, and I think we just found one. Anyway,
Todd, I saw Joe Montana growing up. I thought back then, even though I was Giants fan, I thought he was the greatest quarterback I ever saw. But Brady is on a whole other level. I'm sorry. Montana had John Taylor. He had Rice. Listen, Brady, as much as I hate the Patriots, Brady is unbelievable, man. The stuff that he has accomplished at his age now, and I don't want to hear any more about this Deflategate crap. I'm so sick of this crap. As a football fan, that annoys me. But it's like people don't realize how great this guy really is. And that is, as a football fan, it bothers me how much they get on him for that. I respect him more than I think a lot of people realize. And people think about the Giants. I hate all these. People think I hate all these things. I hate Tony Romo worse than.
Come on, Romo. How can you hate Romo?
Oh, Romo's a joke. Oh, please. Oh, come on, Chris.
Romo's all right.
So Jeremy, I played this on Tuesday and on Thursday. We had a little bit of a debate. Does this sort of back up your claim?
I'm listening.
Brady's in the gun. Collie and Tompkins left. Brady throws it to the end zone for Kenbrell. Tompkins leaping. Touchdown! Patriots! Kenbrell Tompkins! Brady's back! That's your quarterback! Who left the building? Unicorns! Show ponies! Where's the beef?
I love it.
Great with that call. And that sort of leads me into thinking. One, yes, Tom Brady. How many times? Well, no, but how many times have we seen Tom Brady, do that? How many times have we seen them? How many times have we seen the Patriots down late in the game or tied late in the game, and Brady lead them down the field and score the touchdown? It just seems like every game.
A lot of people forget too that a lot of times too, like the 2 Super Bowls that the Patriots lost. Brady,
they were in it.
Yeah, Brady marched the offense down the field and get the clutch touchdown. Just the defense can hold on.
Right, he did his job every time in the clutch.
Right, I'll tell you, the Giants. I'll be honest with you. The Giants had the 2 luckiest plays I've seen to win the Super Bowl. So it's like they had the Giants beat twice. The Giants just got lucky with the Tyree catch and
they had
Manning
the Seahawks
beat. Plays.
Right. I will say the Manning had
there's something there. I'm telling you, it's a Brady mystique. There's something. This guy, he's like gold. You touch him, he turns to gold. I have never seen a player in any sport that has what he has.
Have you seen Ted 2?
Oh
yeah! Oh man! Oh yeah!
I love it.
Well, I played that clip because it sort of goes into play-by-play. As you all know, I'm a play-by-play guy myself, and I'm looking at what that reminds me of. We opened the show with a horse call that gave me goosebumps. Two of the things that sort of reminds me of were two of the calls by Rod Bramblett, who is the Auburn radio play-by-play guy. And so when you sit here and you listen to that call by Tom Brady, one more time so you can listen to it, and then I'm going to play the Auburn ones, and you tell me that the excitement, because I have a point to make, and see if y'all agree with me, because for some reason I'm making points today. So here we go.
About time.
Brady's in the gun. Collie and Tompkins left. Brady throws it to the end zone for Kenbrell. Tompkins leaping. Touchdown! Patriots! Kenbrell Tompkins! Brady's back! That's your quarterback! Who left the building? Unicorns! Show ponies! Where's the beef?
Now, that
makes me laugh every time.
Now, that was called, okay. Now, Ricardo Lewis was just in this draft by the Cleveland Browns, okay? Rod Bramblett made this call.
All right, here we go. 4th and 18 for the Tigers. Here's your ball game. Nick Marshall stands in, steps up, going to throw downfield, just a home run ball, and it is tipped off. And Lewis caught it on the deflection. Lewis is going to score. Lewis is going to score. Lewis is going to score. Touchdown, Auburn. Touchdown, Auburn. A miracle in Jordan Hare. A miracle in Jordan Hare. 73 yards, and the Tigers, with 25 seconds to go, lead 43 to 38.
Okay, so Auburn, Nick Marshall and Auburn basically just ripped the hearts out of Georgia in that call. Okay, so that was Ricardo Lewis, who was just drafted by the Cleveland Browns. And then you have Chris Davis, who now is they list him as a wide receiver, but I think he plays running back. I'm not sure, but he was an undrafted free agent for the San Diego Chargers. One of the best moments in sports history, at least to me, watching it on television, was this.
So I guess if this thing comes up short, he can field it and run it out.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Yep.
56-yarder. Does not have the leg. And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone. He'll run it out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn
that was
wins.
crazy.
Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see. I cannot believe it. 34-28. And we thought a miracle in Jordan Hare was amazing. Oh, my Lord in heaven. Chris Davis just ran it 109 yards. And Auburn is going to the championship game.
It sounds like the guy in the background's getting off.
Yeah, can we please give that guy some Pepto-Bismol or something? Because
oh my God.
I mean,
did he pull?
Now, that was the radio call. That wasn't what they said on TV. That was the radio call.
Awesome, right.
And so, I think my point is that do you think guys now, not Tom Brady, because Tom Brady has created his own legacy throughout the years, but do you think that guys like Ricardo Lewis and guys like Chris Davis become sort of immortalized? And Jason, we have the show on Mondays, and we talk about JR all the time, Jim Ross, the broadcaster. And I'm going to get into that actually before I make this point, real quick. What weighs in is also this guy.
Run! Triple H standing guard. Have been left battered and bloody and hammered at the hands of the game and the sledgehammer. Triple H, the accomplice. Why, Triple H? You son of a bitch. Why? Tell me why.
Okay, so basically you look at those 3 or 4 examples, and you look at if you were watching any of those on mute, if you were watching Tom Brady's comeback against the Saints, if you were watching the Paul Lewis deflection and tip and catch. If you were watching the the Chris Davis run back, or even the Triple H Stone Cold thing, if you're a wrestling fan, if you were watching that on mute, those moments just don't have the same effect to you.
Right.
And I think a lot of the reasons that a lot of these guys become immortalized are because of what the announcers do. I mean, am I wrong? And I think a lot of
you're right.
is
totally
Tom. Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady, obviously, as I said, he's created his own legacy. You know, he's not going to necessarily be that call isn't necessarily going to Tom Brady, but guys like that, I think the only reason that anybody in the country knew who Chris Davis was because of that call. And if you were just sort of watching it in the background and watching it on mute, all right, yeah, okay, the guy from the field goal back, big deal, you know. But because when you hear that, it just gives you goosebumps. It sort of almost brings a tear to your eye. I think a lot of the emotion,
the passion, enthusiasm they have.
Exactly, because people ask me why I get into play-by-play. Oh, why? What made you want to do play-by-play? What made you want to do this? And I said, well, part of the reason is because the emotion of sports, I don't think half the emotion that we feel in sports would be there without guys creating that emotion for us. Am I wrong?
Absolutely right. Yeah, no, you're right. You're 100% right.
You know, what I kind of feel about it, though, is because, like, I do feel like there's so many broadcasts going on. You're right. First off, I agree with you. You're right. There's so many, but I just feel like there's so many broadcasts going on. Like, if the photographer who got Bobby Orr tripped, that picture of him tripping through the air, if he never took that picture, it would have been the second best picture that would have became that picture. The moment gives the opportunity for the broadcaster or the photographer to catch that moment. But I do give credit to those broadcasters because they take advantage of it, and they make that moment for both themselves and the athlete, because that call, only one call becomes famous. There's many of them, but only one person was talented enough to do it that way, and they're the ones who remember.
Let me try to find it here. Joe just commented the Jack Buck call on the home run. I cannot believe what I just saw.
That one, man, that's an awesome one.
That's a good one.
I'll take my grave, Joe Buck, hearing Joe Buck say, because I'm a Red Sox fan, hearing the first time they won the World Series anybody ever saw on TV, I can still see Jack Buck saying, back to folk, Red Sox fans. I mean, it's one of those things you'll take to your grave. I'll never, ever forget Joe Buck's voice from that, I tell you. Mind-boggling to me. I love that.
I'm not a huge Joe Buck fan, simply because
I'm not either, but,
but I think he has some calls. He has some immortalized calls. Nobody on the line right now is a Yankee fan? Nobody?
Thank God.
No? Okay. Well, the radio broadcaster for the Yankees, John Sterling, has a lot of those kind of calls as well. Makes things exciting. And, you know, I sometimes think that it goes the other way, where athletes don't necessarily get their shining moment. You know, because you listen to the things we just called here, and I'm going to try to upload this while we can. I think that guys like the radio broadcast. See, I don't watch Yankee games on the radio because that's what I do. That's what I do. So I don't listen to them. Same thing with the Kobe game. I didn't watch it on TV. I found it on satellite radio and listened to it on Westwood One because I hear how the radio broadcaster called. And some guys just don't get us done. Some guys don't have their one shining moment per se that when they do something great that a radio broadcaster is really able to do for them. And I'm going to try to upload this while we can here. We have 11 minutes left. I'm going to try to get this clip on, show you a legend, a Tom Brady-esque legend who had arguably one of the best sports moments of the past 5 years that really, because of lackluster announcing, isn't as gold standard as it could have been. So I'm going to upload this real quick. While I do that, we're going to be a little bit here about Jason. You made some points, and Jesse, we didn't let you talk that much, so maybe you can weigh in on this as well. Jay made a point on the Thursday show about the Indiana Pacers letting Frank Vogel go, even though they were a playoff team. And he also mentioned something about Luke Walton possibly taking the Laker job prematurely. So, Jason, I'll let you make your point real quick. Let Jesse weigh in, and the other guys can weigh in here. 10 minutes left to go. What is your beef? Again, just tell the Sunday audience what the beef is with Larry Bird here.
Yeah, I feel like Frank Vogel got the short end of the stick. Think about this. He's been the Pacers head coach for 6 years. For the first 4 years, he made the playoffs. He made the conference finals 2 years out of those 4 years. He didn't make the playoffs that 1 year when Paul George broke his leg. And by not making the playoffs, I mean, it came down to the final game. The Nets won their last game to get into the playoffs last season. And then this season, they pretty much expressed expectation. They finished 45-37. So that's not bad for a team that didn't make the playoffs last year. Took the Toronto Raptors to Game 7 to a bad no call down that cost them the game and apparently cost Frank Vogel his job. I don't feel too bad for Frank Vogel. He's going to get a lot of job offerings. But I do feel like Luke panicked and took the first real job offering that he got. If he would have held out, look at the job openings right now. You got Memphis. You got the Knicks. You got Indiana. These are, except for the Knicks, these are pretty much playoff teams already established. With a little tweaking.
You really think go to the Knicks, though? Like, will he run the triangle? Because Jackson is dead set in this triangle.
Went there. No,
I don't think he's gonna. I think he might. I think he might go to Memphis. I think that's would be a great option for him.
Memphis makes more sense.
Jeremy, was Luke Walton sort of a hot property? Like,
well, let me tell you something. I think Luke Walton actually was. He did a great job for Steve Kerr, but I think the Laker mystique and him playing there, I think that called to him a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if they're. He does. They went 17-65, even with Kobe for the old Kobe. But if he really thinks that he's going to be the guy to resurrect this franchise, I don't know. They don't realize. If their pick is in the top 3, it goes back to Philadelphia. So they're not going to get Ben Simmons or somebody like Brandon Ingram. So I don't know if he realizes what he's in for there yet. This isn't like when they had Gary Payton there and Shaq coming in. The Lakers are screwed. D'Angelo Russell, I'm sorry, is not going to be Kobe Bryant. And I don't, they have Jordan Clarkson there. I mean, you guys really get excited to come to Staples Center to watch them play. I think Walt got caught in there with Jerry Buss being, they're close to the family, So I personally would have waited to see what other offers were out there for Luke Walton.
Well,
I think he kind of jumped the gun.
Here's my thing, though. I have comments about Luke being awful young to take that kind of position on such an important franchise. And I kind of looked at it as a little bit like you said. He played there, a little bit of the golden boy, with the heritage with UCLA with his dad. I kind of looked at it as maybe the Lakers hired Luke prematurely rather than Luke
You're right.
prematurely.
Right.
I
agree with that.
I don't know.
I think the Lakers are trying to bank on it being kind of like a Jason. I think the Lakers are trying to make it like a Jason Kidd situation, where Kidd came out of he came out of nowhere, took over the Nets, did a pretty decent job over there, but he parlayed that into another job. Now, being the Lakers coach, he's gonna pile up a lot of losses, so his value is gonna be right now is an all-time
Jason
high.
Kidd at least has some talent there. Lakers have nothing, dude. Beyond Russell and Jordan Clarkson, nothing.
He's going to pile all these losses, and then his value is going to diminish if he's trying to get a job later on.
I think they'll give him a longer leash, and I think he might get 3 or 4 years. If they don't get the top 3 pick there when it goes back to the Philadelphia, I don't know where they think they're going to get. There's no good free agent. Durant's not going to go to the Lakers. I'm sorry, I just don't buy that for a second.
Yeah.
The Lakers, they're not attracting. They're not attracting the free agents they used to bring in there. The Dwight Howard trade, that was a disaster. I don't think LA is people more seems like they want to go to the Clippers than the Lakers now. So it's I think the Clippers might have eclipsed the Lakers, and the people want to go there departed, which I never realized that day.
The youth factor is a lot higher right now, or
right?
a little higher.
Because who would want to go play with Blake Griffin and Chris Paul? I sure as hell would.
You know what it is,
I don't want to go.
You know what it is?
I wouldn't want to play with D'Angelo Russell.
If players now are smarter and they know that to pretty much build their brand, they need to go to teams that are well-run organizations.
Where
look at the Spurs.
Where they can market themselves.
Look at the Spurs. Nobody was thinking that a small market team like the Spurs could draw free agents, but now everybody wants to play
they got
the Spurs
LaMarcus
now.
Aldridge right there.
I found the clip real quick, we got 5 minutes left to go. Based on all the play-by-play clips that I just played and the immortalization of men through what the announcer is able to do, just tell me that this guy, who arguably had one of the best moments in sports, I think in the past decade, possibly ever. We don't have time to argue that right now, but possibly ever. And because of subpar announcing, it just doesn't really. I'm like, bleh, whatever.
And that brings up Jeter.
Now batting for the Yankees, number 2, Derek Jeter. Number 2.
Well, the script is there. The last page is in Derek's hands.
Is he going to talk or what?
That's what I'm saying. It's subpar announcing. We'll see.
Yeah, it's a spectator.
Meek deals. Base hit to right field. Here comes Richardson. Here's the throw for Markakis. Richardson is safe. Derek Jeter ends his final game with a walk-off single. Derek Jeter, where fantasy becomes reality. Did you have any doubt?
Really? I mean,
yeah,
I think
that was lame,
way
man.
overdone.
Yeah, he had tons of time to kind of give some
Reality.
context and preamble to it.
Exactly. That's my thing. It's like there's an art to this, and I think that Jeter kind of got the short end of the stick with the commentary. Of course, that was the television broadcast, not the radio. But John Sterling's call wasn't much better. Yeah, Michael Kay. Yeah, I don't like Michael Kay's announcing at all. But
he's such a terrible.
The point here is that it's Satellite Sunday. It's the Sweet 16 episode, and we have a lot of things. We're gonna jump off here, Jesse. We want you to come on with us on Tuesday because we don't let you talk that often, and we definitely want to get some points. You make great points. Real quick though, Todd, man, I'll tell you.
Peter, Lois is your wife. You should be defending her, not talking trash and gossiping behind her back like some kind of Midwestern teenager.
Did you gals hear about
So
Allie
sorry,
Gallagher?
dude.
She let Alan Ackerman smack her in the back with his tallywhacker behind the snack shack.
What? Nobody here in Maryland understands a single word you're saying. You should move back to Minnesota.
I can't go back. I Snapchatted Matt Gacarac a Kodak on my ass crack.
You know what really grinds my gears? You, America. You.
Why?
And on that note,
Why tallywhacker and ass crack? Why?
And on that note, we will see y'all next week with our funky accents here on Sundays, rather. Saturdays, we're going to be starting a new show, and I just actually prompted that too soon. I'm sorry about that. But anyways, Jesse, please join us Tuesday, Thursdays. We got Joe, we got Jason, we got Brianna. Jeremy's going to start once he finishes school. Todd, you're welcome to call in as well. Sports Roundup is Tuesday, Thursdays from 11 to 1. This is Satellite Sunday, Sweet 16. This is our house.
Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. 'Cause we've done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself at my home, tell me where you've been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Morning comes and you know that you wanna stay. Close the blinds, let's pretend that the time has changed. Keep our clothes on